What we need is not more medication, but more education, because the best prescription is knowledge. This is Exposé coming to you live from Lagos, Nigeria, every Monday on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook simultaneously. I'm the regular host, Akinyemi. Don't forget, what we need is not more medication, but more education, because the best prescription is knowledge. Hello and welcome. This is Exposé with Tony Akinyemi. This beautiful Monday evening coming your way from Nigeria, West Africa. 8 p.m. West African time. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're watching us from. We have started the series on your water and your health, because water is critical to health on the one hand. Lack of water or the wrong kind of water, all of them can cause problems. People who drink contaminated water, impure water, may develop waterborne diseases. This can range from infectious agents in the water, causing things like cholera, river blindness, all kinds of different things that contaminated water with biological agents can cause. Others drink water that is contaminated with, chemicals and industrial waste and all kinds of things, and this can, compromise our body systems. Can compromise your excretory system, your cardiovascular system, your nervous system. Any system in your body can be compromised. Your liver and your kidneys in particular could be put on overwork, on day duty and night duty, as it were. No break time, no rest time. And that can wear them out very quickly. And you see, when the liver and the kidneys are compromised, general health, overall health is equally compromised. That's why if we can intervene somewhere in order to spare these internal organs, we all need to do so. And that necessitates and mandates the idea of paying attention to what goes into our mouth, particularly our water. I have said in a previous episode, you may go without food for 40 days and not harm your body seriously, but you shouldn't go without water for more than 4 days. Otherwise, you get seriously dehydrated, and that can be at the root of many problems. Some people are hydrating, they are taking the pain to drink a lot of water, but the challenge is that they are not drinking from the right source. And we're helping you to provide the solutions you need, affordable solutions, available solutions for water purification. And I am honored to have again today on set with me on Exposé, Mr. Onuoha, who has been gracious enough to give us 2 episodes. He was with us last week, and he's back again this week to continue our conversation on the products that Elken Global, the company, the organization that he represents, have on offer here in Nigeria, maybe for the rest of West Africa. So, once again, Mr. Onuoha, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Glad to have you here today.
Thank you so very much, Reverend Tony Akinyemi, for this opportunity, for having us in this your wonderful program. Thank you so very much. And our viewers, thank you so very much. It's nice to be with us again today. Thank you.
Right. So without further ado, we want to get cracking.
Sure.
Last week, you mentioned 2 devices in particular. Sure. You mentioned the Elken BioPure Ultra, which is a water purification device.
That's right.
And then you mentioned another one, the Hydr.
That's right.
Right. So last week we were able to discuss extensively on the Elken BioPure Ultra. Today, I want us to talk about the Hydr. Sure. And then you will help us to distinguish between what's the difference between the 2.
Okay.
And you will also give us maybe similar information you gave us regarding the first device. But so let's start today. What exactly is this second device, the Elken Hydr machine that you mentioned earlier, as part of water solutions that your organization has on offering?
Okay. Thank you so much once again, Reverend Akinyemi, for this opportunity. And our viewers, it's so lovely to be with us again, talking about solutions, okay? For us, water solutions is very important. Just like we all know, it's important you're drinking from the right source, okay? And we have this Hydr machine. It's an amazing machine. And like I said last week, is one machine that every home actually needs and should have. Why? Because it produces for you hydrogen water. And we all know hydrogen water is what we need in our system to live optimally. Okay, so most times we are drinking water, but the water we are drinking is not functional water. So for the Hydr...
You're mentioning some technical words there. You will take time to explain that to us. Just land, then I'll come back to you.
No problem. So what the Hydr does is to provide for you a functional water.
That functional water is coming again. Maybe we should pause here and explain what you mean by functional water.
Okay, so for me, what I mean actually is it's a machine that produces a medical water for you. Hydrogen is a medical gas. It's a novel medical gas that's able to take care of several things in our system, and I'll just talk about that. For many of us, okay...
We will come back to the benefits of hydrogen water. For now, I want you to describe the Hydr machine itself. Now, you've been mentioning it produces functional water, it produces hydrogen water. Does it also purify the water?
So let's get to that. So for our Hydr machine, actually is the first reverse osmosis hydrogen machine anywhere in the world, okay?
Right.
Of course, there are other ones now, but it was the first actually. So we use this, reverse osmosis, okay, to purify your water first and foremost, because we all know the importance of purified water. So we're not just offering you hydrogen water, but we are offering you water that is highly purified. So this machine uses reverse osmosis to purify your water. Last week I told you about the BioPure Ultra purifying to a precision level of 0.1 micron. But the interesting thing about the Hydr machine, it purifies to 0.0001 micron. And that's interesting, really. Because it's virtually impossible for you to have any microorganism that is that tiny and small. Okay, so no matter how small or tiny that your microorganism is, or a parasite, bacteria, anything is, this machine, these filters will trap it. Okay, so first it uses reverse osmosis, purifies your water. Then secondly, of course, it gives you hydrogen water, water that is high in hydrogen content, okay, up to about 900 ppb, 1000 ppb, water that is really high in hydrogen.
Would you explain ppb?
Okay, so hydrogen is
parts per billion.
Yeah, hydrogen is measured in parts per billion. That's a measurement unit for hydrogen. So, and of course, our machine can give you as high as possible. We'll still talk about that in the course of this course today. So, for the Hydr machine, first purifies your water, okay, and not your regular kind of purification, but this is reverse osmosis. And reverse osmosis is the technology that is used. Even NASA uses that when they travel into space. They can purify your urine, okay, with reverse osmosis, and it's good enough for you to drink, actually. Okay, that's the technology we use for
We actually have discussed reverse osmosis in a previous episode. We even showed the diagram of how
that works.
So I believe those who have seen those previous episodes understand the different purification methods. All right. So if I got you right, the Hydr machine purifies the water. So it removes all biological contaminants.
Everything.
Like bacteria and what have you. It removes chemical contaminants. It removes any soluble in the water that the size is
as small as lower actually than 0.0001 micron.
Good. So the water that comes out is almost 99.9999%
pure. And that's what it is.
So the first one is it purifies.
Sure.
The second one is that it also
gives you hydrogen water.
And then you say that if you have water that is purified and has hydrogen added to it, that becomes functional water or medical water, so to speak. Again, those who are regulars on Exposé will not find that very difficult to understand, because I think it was in 2023, I did a whole season teaching on medical gases.
Okay.
And we talked about hydrogen, we talked about oxygen, we talked about ozone, we talked about many other gases. And hydrogen gas in particular, hydrogen water, both for inhalation and in drinking in water. I mean, we explored all of that extensively. So I believe that those who are familiar on this channel actually would not be, this will not be strange to them. But some new people, newbies are here. And that's why I want us to break it down to the lowest level for everybody to understand. Now, you've talked to us about the hydromy machine. Then you mentioned hydrogen water. Now, I want you to clarify for the newbies, how is hydrogen water different from regular water? Right.
Okay, so most of the times you talk about hydrogen water, people ask you, but water is actually 2 molecules of hydrogen, 1 molecule of oxygen. So why are you talking about hydrogen again? Okay, so now, little logic. So if you have 2 molecules and you have 1 molecule, that means you really need more of the hydrogen. Simple logic, actually.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's been found out that the hydrogen content in the water, it's actually very much medicinal. There is this myth, actually, people go to certain kind of springs where they feel like they get water from, and it gives them healing and all of that. So people attach certain kind of mystics actually to it, and they feel like this is miracle stream, miracle that. But science science actually found out that those springs were rich in hydrogen content.
Right.
Okay, and this is where actually some of these technologies began to evolve. How can you increase the hydrogen content in your water using different kind of mechanisms, which of course we can still discuss today, and of course that's how we come about this machine that increases the hydrogen content in your water, which is actually what your system needs. And that's what brings about healing benefits. Hydrogen, of course, is a small molecule, is the tiniest molecule you can get anywhere in the world. And because it's that tiny, it's able to permeate into different part of your cells, your mitochondria, different part of your body. And that is why it's actually very fast in terms of bringing healing benefits.
Right.
Okay. Right. Some of the places where drugs may not be able to penetrate into, hydrogen is able to get to those places, and this is what makes it stand out and start unique in terms of hydrogen water.
Wow. Good. Okay. Now I want us to zero in down specifically now to the specific health benefits of hydrogen water. Now, who benefits? Is it only those who are sick who need to get well? And if so, what are the conditions that it can help? I know many times you guys don't want to make medical claims, but who can be helped? Now, if somebody is not sick and also want to keep it that way, can this also be of help?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so very much. Last week you talked about actually preventive. Okay, you talked about upstream, downstream, which is preventive actually. For me, I'm also in the school of thought that believes that we need to prevent before this happens. Okay, otherwise it's actually more expensive to take care of illnesses when they get to happen. Taking care of yourself before illnesses come is less expensive. Okay, so so what hydrogen does, hydrogen has been discovered to be rich in antioxidant, and this makes it to stand out, and that's where almost all the benefits revolve around about this. It is highly rich in antioxidant. Now, of course, there are some research that found out that about 2.5 liters of hydrogen water is equivalent to the antioxidant benefit is equivalent to you taking about 688 apples, really. That's how huge it is, really. Okay, I mean,
now in terms of its antioxidant benefits.
In terms of the antioxidant benefits,
all right.
Yeah, it's about taking about
688 apples.
And I know that many of our viewers can't take that. So even if you can take that, of course, it's going to cost you so much right now because one apple may be like 500 multiplied by 600.
Definitely, apple has much more than antioxidant properties. It has other properties that hydrogen water may not have.
Yeah,
so we are not saying don't eat apples.
No, not at all.
Because an apple a day, they say, keeps the
you
doctor
away from the doctor. Yeah, sure. An apple a day keeps you away from the doctor, and that's because of what is rich in. We're just saying that in terms of antioxidant benefit, hydrogen water is very rich in antioxidant benefit.
Right.
Okay, and not just that it's a super antioxidant, it's also a smart antioxidant. Okay, it knows
How do you mean by smart?
Yeah, it knows exactly the bad free radicals it needs to attack. Okay? So it pairs with the right cells in your system to fight against the bad free radicals and pushes them off in through different means of waste. Okay, so it's because it's rich in antioxidant, it fights free radicals, and of course we know that free radical is not good for our system.
Yeah.
When these things build up, they can cause a lot of issues, cause oxidative stress. When oxidative stress is there, it can cause a lot of problems. You see breakdown in different areas. So first and foremost, taking hydrogen water can help you prevent you from free radicals, okay, help to eliminate them, okay, prevent you from oxidative stress, which can actually affect our health, okay, and so because it's doing this, it can help you maintain your health.
Right.
And of course, for people who are already diseased, as it were, we don't lay claims at all, but what we're saying is it could help, because of the antioxidant benefit, it can help in recovery of certain kind of illnesses. We found out that hydrogen water is anti-inflammation, it's anti-cancer, okay, and it does a whole lot in the system. So for people who don't know much about this, you just want to try taking hydrogen water, it can help a lot.
Yeah, I actually visited a clinic the other day, because one of the things I do is to go around integrative clinics, functional medicine clinics, to see what they have on offer. And I was in one of them where hydrogen therapy was a major part of their offering, what they offer to people. Both inhalation, hydrogen water, and all of that. They offer it to virtually all their patients, cancer patients and many other patients, cardiovascular issues, people with respiratory issues, and they claim that it's really, really helping people.
As we speak in Japan right now, they use it for almost, even in their spas right now, they use that for beauty care and all of that, different ways. You know, it's something that is quite novel at this time.
Particularly because of its antioxidant properties. And talking about an apple a day keeps the doctor away before we go on this short break, and then when we come back, we continue. I read a particular joke, you know, the other day, just for on a lighter note. And then again, to make sure you remember the antioxidant property we're talking about. Two guys, they say, were trying to toast a lady. One was a medical doctor, the other one was somebody else, you know, and the medical doctor wanted to win over the lady's heart. And so what he did was he always passed by the house of the lady to offer her flowers every day. We just bring roses and all kinds of things. But the other guy, we always bring one apple for the lady every day. And so the lady was wondering, I mean, the doctor is giving me flowers to win my heart. You are giving me apples. But by the way, what are you up to? Why are you always giving me apples? And the man said, well, don't you know that an apple a day will keep the doctor away?
That's true. Well, that's interesting, really.
Anyway, I want the doctor to go so I can. Anyway, that's a joke, and I hope that helps you to remember the antioxidant properties of hydrogen water. We're going to go on a short break, and when we come back, we'll be asking more questions from our guest today, Mr. Onuoha, who is representing Elken Global, providing water purification solutions, good for every household. Don't go away. We'll be back very shortly. Welcome back. This is still Exposé with Tony Akinyemi, brought to you by TSF, the Shepherd's Flock International Church. Our headquarters church is at 18 Shogunle Street, off Mobolaji Bankantoni Way, between Etiebet's Place, Eco Hospital, and Sheraton Hotel Ikeja. It's actually the street beside Etiebet's Place that will take you through our church. In case you want to join us for some wonderful sessions and programs, particularly on Sunday mornings by 8:30 a.m. Now, we are talking about your water and your health. And we have on set today an expert that we've been interviewing since last week, giving us insights into water purification solutions. He represents Elken Global, a company that has devices and machines that can help us purify our water at an affordable budget. So, Mr. Onuoha is here today and is answering our questions. The next question I want to ask him today is, what exactly are the unique features of this Elken hydromi machine that you've been talking about so passionately?
Okay, thank you so very much, Reverend Akinyemi. The hydromi machine, of course, there are several machines, okay, that can produce for you hydrogen water right now, because hydrogen water is the in thing, I want to say. So, but ours is quite unique. Number one, like I said before, is the first reverse osmosis hydrogen machine you have. So first and foremost, we recognize the place of high purified water. And so we give you water that is to a top-notch level of 99.999% pure. Okay, so first, uses reverse osmosis. Secondly, filter has, our machine has about 5 filtration stages.
5 in this one?
5 in this one.
The other one has 4? 4,
yes.
This one has 5?
5, yeah. So here you have the activated carbon filter, you have the sediment filter, you have the membrane filter, you have the ultra filter, and of course you have the one that eventually brings in the hydrogen and all of that.
Right.
So it's quite unique. Most machines you have may just have only carbon activated filter. I can say that. I know a lot of competitors, just one filter alone, okay, and they can actually purify to like 5 micron. So eventually the hydrogen you're getting from the water is not actually very pure. But our machine would give you hydrogen that is highly pure, okay? And then of course, this machine, it's one equipment really that can produce for you hydrogen to a top level of about 900 ppb. Now, the International Association of Hydrogen, Hydrogen Association, gives some requirements, okay, for the hydrogen water that is actually good enough in terms of medication. Okay, I'll just mention a few of the requirements. Number one, it has to be hydrogen that is high in hydrogen content, concentration. Okay, now it has to be at least above 500 ppb. We said before, ppb is parts per billion. That's how hydrogen is measured.
Right.
Okay, our machine can give you double that.
Right.
Most of the times you measure it's about 900 ppb, 1000 ppb, 1200 ppb, and even higher. Okay, so that surpasses the requirements, okay, from the association.
Right.
Secondly, it has to be instant. Most machines out there are not instant, okay? So you maybe connect it to electricity, okay? And then, of course, you wait for like 5 minutes before it produces hydrogen water for you. But our machine, the moment you go to that machine, you have hydrogen already. And so this is one of the requirements actually from the association. It has to be instant. Right. And because it's instant, it is high concentration hydrogen. Okay, so ours is quite instant. It can give you water that is actually very, very instant. Now, talking about a machine, it's a very functional machine, very smart machine, really. And it's very beautiful, okay? So...
for aesthetics as well.
Yes, actually, yeah. One of the guys that bought from us, really, okay, somewhere around Festac area, okay?
In Lagos?
In Lagos, yeah. Okay, it's got very big mansion. And so one of the things he said, amongst the health benefits, I think that this is a wonderful decorative piece in my parlor. And that's the truth, really. He's got the BioPure. He bought it BioPure before. Right. And so he said, no, this one will actually suits my parlor very well. Right. So he put the two of them together. And that's how beautiful it is, okay? Right. And the machine can produce for you normal purified water, can produce hydrogen water for you, can produce hot water if you want hot water, and even extra hot water, really, okay?
Wow.
And I tell people...
Can it produce water to make tea?
Water
As
to make your
hot?
coffee, as hot to make your coffee.
Okay.
And the extra hot can turn eba for you.
My goodness.
So you're not boiling. No, that's true.
That means definitely that this one uses electricity,
This uses electricity.
unlike the other one.
This uses electricity. Because
Okay.
of course, in producing hydrogen, you use electrolysis, and that's a
Right.
means of using electricity to separate hydrogen from the oxygen.
Right,
Okay, so
right.
this uses that. If you have this, you don't need hot water from any other source for your coffee, for your
Make
tea.
your coffee, make your tea.
If you want to
make
turn
your
eba. So you already have hot water to do
So
that.
your hot
it's-
water kettle is
And that saves you a
already
lot more.
obsolete.
Saves you a lot more energy. And interesting thing about the machine also is it's got eco feature.
Okay.
Okay, that means it can save power consumption. Okay,
Right.
so it's not really consuming your power so much. You can save power consumption. It
Okay.
is smart. Okay, it knows exactly when maybe you don't have enough water get into the system. You have the operating cutoff system. Okay,
Right.
and signals you that there is not much water coming in. So it's a very smart machine.
So that's the next machine I should be believing God for.
Definitely, sir.
I got the previous one, but I think this one must be added.
This one definitely.
Right. This one must come in as well. Now, let me ask this question about the hydrogen water produced. If you vent the water, you dispense the water into a glass, for example, how long can you keep it before the hydrogen gas will dissipate?
Evaporate.
Yeah.
Okay, so hydrogen is a gas, and so it actually evaporates quite quickly. If you have it in an open glass, that can take about 30 minutes. Okay.
Okay.
You still have the content inside.
Right.
Okay, and for us, that the concentration is high. That takes a long time, okay, for it to evaporate completely. Because sometimes we have also done the measurements, you come to test it, you discover you still have like 500 ppb and all of that. So it can take you as much as 5 minutes if it's an open container.
Right.
But if you have it in a closed-up container, okay, maybe like the bottle you have right now. This kind of bottle can take you like 2 days, okay, 24
Okay.
hours to
Okay.
2 days, okay. But most of the people that are bought from us, what they do is bottle them in like your breakable bottles, okay? Because the thicker the material
glass,
you have,
yeah.
okay, to get the water, the more it can actually preserve. If the container is airtight, okay, then the gas will not actually evaporate quite fast. So for some people, I know people who transport these all the way from Port Harcourt to Jos.
Right,
Okay, for
the
people to
water.
use. Yeah, the water.
Okay.
They transport the water all the way from Port Harcourt to Jos. And that takes like 7 days, people can still use it, and the
All
hydrogen
right.
content is still quite much.
The ideal would be for each person to have one in their
Just
home.
have it in your home,
And
drink
just
from your
dispense
home.
and drink
Yeah,
immediately.
you can't compare the effect.
Yeah.
Okay, you see, first thing in the morning, the water you drink first in the morning, you're a health person, you know this more than me really, is very important. And if you're making that hydrogen water, I've tested it and I see how wonderful it is. And I can tell you, when we installed ours, let me just say this here, it's my own testimony. When we installed ours, I had this very terrible back pain, okay, which I was actually going through at the time, okay, and sleep on the bed is difficult. At the same time, when I was having this, a friend of mine in Enugu also had the same issue.
Right.
He visited the hospital to UNTH and spent a lot of money. But when we fixed this, I began to take this in the morning, first in the morning, okay, afternoon, night. I did not know when that pain left. I didn't take any single painkiller or anything. But how that pain left, just that a few days, one day I just was like,
This pain
where is
no
this
dey
pain? I didn't see this pain. But that's the truth, really. I didn't see this pain anymore.
Right.
Okay, and these are some of the things actually we benefit from. This.
Great. So that's the Elken hydrogen water produced by the machine that comes out. Okay, now you described the 5 filters present, and then you also described how it makes hydrogen to add to the water. There are similar machines out there in the market.
Sure, definitely.
That use electrolysis method to produce special water and also maybe add hydrogen to it.
Sure.
Now, would you like to tell us what sets this Elken hydrogen water machine apart from such similar products out there in the market?
Okay, so I think I'll take it this way, really. When phone devices started off, we know about Nokia 3310.
Yeah.
Okay, but I don't know.
What's your Nokia number?
Okay, well, right now, I don't know how many persons who are still using Nokia 3310 in this age of iPhone and all of that. Okay, so when hydrogen water actually started, one of the technologies that we began with was with alkaline electrolysis. Okay, alkaline electrolysis. Of course, electrolysis is a means of using electricity to separate water. So what
when you say separate water, you're talking about separating hydrogen and
from
oxygen.
the oxygen. Yeah, separates hydrogen from the oxygen. Now, what alkaline does also is the addition of some minerals and all of that, which the presence of those minerals have a way of clocking the electrode plate, okay?
Right.
And once that happens, the electrolysis effect is not as much as it should be.
Right.
And so that hampers the hydrogen produced. And having hydrogen that is rich in concentration. Okay, so this was the first earliest technology, and we still have most machines that still use this technology, even in Nigeria here, to produce hydrogen. Okay, but our machine is the latest technology. We call it the PEM, we call it the protein electrolysis membrane.
Right.
Okay, that's what we use. And what this means is you do away with some of these minerals that can actually clog these electrode plates. For most machines, you need to clean up the electrode plate maybe like 3 months, otherwise the machine goes bad. But for ours, you don't need to do anything at all on the electrode plate, okay? Because this is protein electrolysis membrane, okay? So that does not have that kind of issue at all. Now,
so you call that a kind of an upgrade, so to speak.
It's an upgrade.
Previous techniques.
Yeah, to the previous technology. It's actually an upgrade, okay? And then it gives you more purified hydrogen water. Better than what you get from the alkaline purified hydrogen water. So for some of the competitors we have, or the machines that we have, one of the things that some of the persons that have come over to get us, they have talked about is most of the time you see some particles, okay, in the water from some of the machine. Okay. And that's because of the alkaline electrolysis they are using, okay, for theirs. But for the PM, it is highly purified hydrogen water, okay, highly purified. And of course, the PM makes it able for you to have highly concentrated hydrogen in the water. Okay, so this actually sets us apart from other machines, really, because we are using right now the latest technology in the world of hydrogen production. We're using that, and that's a PM.
Okay, great. Now, I know if we give you time, you can keep talking and talking and talking. You're so loaded. I'm highly impressed with your depth of understanding of the mechanism of action and whatever of those equipment. Maybe 2 things before we go. One is, in the first episode we held last week, you told us about pricing for the BioPure Ultra. Now, this one, from the way you've described it, is definitely not going to be the same price
definitely
as the other one. So what is the market price, the retail price that people can get this? So people can go and fasten their seatbelt, and start planning, praying, saving, preparing. I know this is an investment at the end of the day. It's not just an expense. It's an investment.
It's an investment.
Right. So let's hear that. That's one. And then we will now also give the contact details of the person to contact for those who are interested. Okay,
and I kind of like your, it's like the 4 Ps you mentioned right now. Planning, praying, and that's the truth about life, really. Yeah. Most of the times we are not able to get certain things because we didn't plan for them.
Right.
Okay, and so certain things just happen to us. It's one machine, like I said, we all need to have. Okay, of course, the price is... of course, it's a high-end machine. I would say that actually, but really, anyway, go ahead. But of course, it's something if you plan towards, I want to believe that you can have it, and every home should have it. The retail price for this machine, and as compared to our competitors, I can tell you that even using the alkaline electrolysis, this price is far lower than them. Wow. Okay, and the truth also, it's something that people can actually check out. Okay, alkaline electrolysis, PM electrolysis. You will discover that to even produce with PM, it's more expensive right now. Really. Okay, right. That's one of the
And yet,
yes.
the price
and yet
of
the
your
price
machine is
of our
cheaper.
machine is still quite cheaper, actually.
Okay.
Now, one of the reasons is, first and foremost, we want everyone to have access to this machine.
Right.
We want people to take care of their health. And as much as possible, we have tried to maintain the price as it were when we came in, even though the dollar prices are going high. Okay, so if you
It's coming down now by the grace of God.
Yeah.
And it's going to get better by the grace of God.
Yeah, sure, definitely.
We are praying and God is working.
Definitely. So we have maintained the dollar price, very low dollar price, and the machine is about 3.18 million, really.
3,180,000, almost 3.2 million.
3.2 million.
Yeah, that's an investment. And you know, one thing I keep saying to people is that if you can afford it, if there's an investment in your family's health that you can afford,
sure,
and yet you fail to invest, then I don't know what to say to you. For those who cannot afford it, it's a different ballgame.
That's true.
They can look for other options. But if it's something you can afford, why hesitate? Why hold back?
True.
Because, you know, health is the foundation for everything, for productivity, for even fertility.
That's right. True.
Fruitfulness,
True.
for longevity. You know, everything is predicated on health. So whatever investment we make in our, if you come to my home now and see all kinds of things there that I have spent money on, and right now it's just my wife and I, two of us living in there.
Wow.
And sometimes I look at all of this and I say, but all this amount of money. But I say, well, thank God we have come this far, and God is still taking us far.
Sure.
Anyway, so let's encourage every one of us to, again, like I said, pray, plan, prepare, you know, and start saving towards it. And God is going to help you to make you able to. And institutions can have it. Offices can have it for their staff. If individual staff cannot afford it, if a company of 5 employees, 10 employees could install one in the office.
And the interesting thing, we have organizations actually that have come to us to buy.
Right.
And this is interesting because that means the organization is putting the health
of their
the
staff. Yeah, you know, the welfare, their welfare.
And if your staff is healthy enough, they can actually produce.
It can actually help. I mean, it will reduce the amount of sick leave.
Sure, that's it. Productivity is increased.
Yeah,
really.
and then it gives them also the boost of energy to be more productive, clear thinking, and all of that. So offices can have it, churches can have it.
That's right.
You know, religious centers, different places can have it, schools can have it. And if an office of 10 staff have one, I mean, each person can come and vent, you know,
and go home with it.
Go home with
yeah,
it
that's
every single day.
That's right.
And it's going to be a blessing to everybody. Thank you very much for finding time to be with us. Before we go, would you like to give us the contact details of who to contact?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Once again, you can reach us on this number, okay, 0806710, okay, 6924. I'll take that again, 08067106924. Or you want to reach us on email, you can actually reach us on kingjoy, KINGJOY, 2009 at gmail.com. Okay, kingjoy2009 at gmail.com. The phone number, once again, 08067106924.
Thank you very much for being our special viewers and guests today on Exposé with Tony Akinyemi. We hope you've learned one or two things, and we hope you are believing God, praying, planning, preparing to own one, just as I am doing. I have the lower one. Now I want the bigger one. And I know God will provide it.
Definitely.
Let me say a big thank you to you.
Thank you so very
for
much,
coming on our platform and for sharing your knowledge so generously.
Thank you so much.
We appreciate you.
Sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for this opportunity. We appreciate you.
We thank God.
Thank you so very much, sir.
All right, so have a beautiful week. This is Exposé with Tony Akinyemi. We come your way again, same time, same platform, next week. God bless you. Have a terrific week. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.